Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, good afternoon. We are from group 12. Today we will presentation about epidemiology of plant disease. Before start our presentation, let me introduce our team. First, Edra Maulana with student number is 113 and me Ulfi Aisyiah with student number is 112. For the material today, there are three contents. One, definition of epidemiology of disease. Two, disease development and in plants. Three, spread of pathogens. Definition of epidemiology of disease. Epidemiology is knowledge of disease at the population level. This is because the disease can cause an outbreak if it is present at the population level. In other words, epidemiology is the study of disease population in host plant population in the same space and time. The purpose of epidemiology is to provide an understanding of the nature of pathogens in time and space so that they can provide consideration for managing disease control strategies. Epidemiological processes occur in the particular environment. What is meant by the environment? Here is all the components that surround the epidemiologist process. Two, disease development in plants. Plant disease epidemic are cyclical phenomena consisting of repeated cycles of pathogens development that are influenced by the host plant and its environment. This stage of the disease development process in plants is one, inoculation. Is contact between the pathogen and the host plant. Two, germination is pathogenic spores form a germination tube. Three, penetration is entry of pathogen into plant cells, among others, stomata. Four, infection is reaction between pathogen and plant cells that cause symptoms. 5. Infection is the pathogen spread to other cells of the host plant. 6. Reproduction. Reproduction, formation of reproduction organs, multiplying themselves in the host plant. And next, transmission and spread pathogens. In this case, the development of the disease can also go through several cycles. There are three cycles that usually occur. One, single or monocyclic infection cycle. Two, multiple or polycyclic infection cycles. And three political cycle. One, single or monocyclic infection cycle. Pathogen that develop through a single infection cycle in a single plant life cycle. Pathogen that have a single cycle include post-pathogen, soil-borne pathogen, and rust-causing pathogen that do not produce spores. Two, multiple or polycyclic infection cycles. Pathogen that infect and thrive in an area and can infect repeatedly during one growing season of multiple cycle pathogens. Pathogen inoculum that infects plant, develop, sporulate, and spread and from new infection many times in one plant life cycle is a double cycle pathogen. A clear example is found in The pathogen plant disease known as leaf blight.
3. The political cycle. Pathogens found in the tropic with infecting annual plants can also develop following repeat cycles, but the cycle is not clear, so the disease is a disease that has a polycyclic cycle. This is because polybiotic disease in plants can be available throughout the year, so that pathogens that have one cycle can infect plants without a clear growth phase. Next. Spread of pathogens. An epidemic occurs when a pathogen is able to spread to a large area and has the opportunity to grow there. Pathogens spread can occur actively and passively. 1. Active spread. Active spread is when the pathogens can move from one place to another actively by itself. For example, with fungus forms hyphae that are several meters long so that they can reach other hosts. Active deployment can be divided into three parts, namely water gun, mechanism of cutting, and mechanism of basidiospores. Next. First, water gun. Mechanism. This mechanism is common in fungi of the Asomycetes class. The ascus will swell as it matures and rupture or open at the end, directing the spores upward. The pressure inside the ascus is so high that the spores can reach a height of 100 meters at a fairly high speed. 2. Mechanism of cutting. The upper end of the sporophore is suddenly cut off until the spore can be released into the air. Several species of Picomycetes fungi have this mechanism, as do the Aisyospores of loose pathogens. 3. Mechanism Basidiospores. Basidiospores are located symmetrically at the tip of the stigma, and when the spores ripen, a drop of liquid is exhaled from the hilum and cause the spores to be released instantly. Next. Two, passive dispersal. Passive dispersal can be done by means of wind, water, animals, insects, agricultural tools, and humans. What is usually transported by the medium is the spores of pathogenic fungi. The scattering of spores by any means is always preceded by a take-off, then flying during the journey, and finally landing somewhere. Passive spores dispersal can occur by the following mechanism. A. Release spores. B. Mechanical momentum mechanical. C. Wind blowing. D. Hygroscopic movement. And E. Water splash. Next. A. Releasing spores. Releasing spores by gravity, where the dried spores collect on the spots to be released constantly due to gravity, but can also be helped by wind. B. Mechanical momentum mechanical. Momentum resulting in the release of large number of dry spores. The source of this mechanical momentum are the impact of airflow and the impact of rainwater. The airflow was shaking the plant parts of the plant, causing the spores to be released from the fruit bodies. Likewise, rainwater can hit plant parts, causing mature spores to detect from their fruit bodies. See, wind blowing occurs in the fungal pathogens that produce the spores. The location of the spores is likely protruding above the surface so that turbulent wind currents can blow the spores. The hygroscopic movement. Hygroscopic movement of condiopores cause the release of spores. This movement is made possible by changes in the humidity of the surrounding atmosphere, which often occurs in the morning. Air containing fog, the high spores can be released from the conidiospores. E. Water splash. Many species of fungi produce spores in a sticky state. When the support is wet with water, the spores are no longer sticky and spread over the support in a thin layer. Raindrops that hit the thin layer will splash everywhere and contain lots of spores. Furthermore, these spores can be carried by human, insect, or land, sea, and air vehicles. Next.
Okay, right. That's all from our group. If you have some question, please write in comments column. Thank you.